And we're live.
Woohoo!
And for those of you who are not watching a commercial, we'll start greeting people.
Yeah.
Unfinished Project was here really early, as was Lars. These two guys have something they do. They'll go back and forth with American flags. One will put up one, the other one will put up two, then the other one will put up three, and they keep countering each other. I kind of like it, actually.
That's great.
I've seen it get up to 11 or 12 before that I know of.
Wow.
The One-Eyed
Go
Cat.
America.
Mrs. One-Eyed Cat. Unified front today. Of course, the link is pinned at the top if you have not yet registered for the No Name Nationals. And Lars put up the link if you'd like a banner. These are on our site. American made right here in town.
I like it.
These did not come from China. These were made by a guy named Kevin. Got the grommets and everything. These are in the store. We'll have them at the event also.
Oops.
Auto Salvage Outlaws is here. Unfinished Project. See, he and Lars, they like to play off each other. He's got a link up for the shirt. Get your black No Name National shirt. Black or gray. The black one's like the one I'm wearing. This one right here, this shows you how well they hold up. This one has been through seasons and seasons of working outside and everything. And it still looks pretty good.
Nice. I have a gray one. That still looks good, too.
Pure Pontiac Garage. Kim fixes things. And by the way, I sent out a link to anybody who I know is running Monkey Bike. So you guys are all welcome just whenever you can. If you want to, just go ahead and ring the doorbell. I'll let you in.
Yeah.
Buff is here. My Aunt Nancy is here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. We'll introduce our guest here in a second. Give more people time to file in. Colleen Tebow, Mohawk 62. Same for you, Mohawk. I sent you a link to this live since you're running Monkey Bike if you'd like to jump in, but I didn't hear back from you, but you're welcome on the panel tonight. 113 Cycles. Check out that guy. We'll get to him in a minute. My mom is here for Zell Racing. Turbo Tom said he sent me some stickers. Thank you. I appreciate it. Don't make the board for sure.
Yeah.
Lars, NSB is here. All right. Oh, no. Now they're really pouring in.
Yeah.
Dizzy is here. Danny Boyd, Hot Rod Guy Garage. Mean Street Mopar. He's got his banner hung up in his garage. Good looking banners. Buck Does It is here. SSR Performance, a.k.a. Big James. We like to mention occasionally, in case you guys might have lost it in translation, that the James and James show, Big James is now SSR Performance. With regular guest, Little James. Michael Robert Embry, Dust Devil, Diecast Dreams. Well, thank you all for coming here, and we want to introduce our guests. So we're going to have a Monkey Bike themed live tonight. As any of the Monkey Bike competitors can join us, we'd love to have you. You guys all have your links. We have in the house 113 Cycles. You guys know him for driving full-size bikes, but he's going to try his hand at one of these small entries in Sykes.
Yeah, this will be my first time doing it this year on the Monkey Bike. I've been there every year, but yeah, this will be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, if you guys watched any of the videos of the cars coming off the track after the group photo, there was one guy on a motorcycle, and it will be this fella right here.
I hide behind cars in the pictures. You can't see me in those.
Two Hacks, Jeff is here.
Hey, Jeff.
Right on. Glad you guys could join us.
Yeah,
well, tonight's just it's a Monkey Bike themed live. Of course, you can do and ask, talk about what you want to, as always. But tonight our theme is Monkey Bike. I do have a copy of the new rules here, which we hope would entice more competition. And how did that at all affect your thoughts on this, Mr. 113 Cycles, Ryan?
Hey. It absolutely affected my thoughts on it. It was a little more open, so, kind of just wasn't worth it for me in the beginning. I really wanted to build it, but I just, I'm cheap. I didn't have the money to do it. So it was one of those, well, now with more of an open class with it, you can use that engine on anything. And, if if this chassis doesn't work good, next year I can get a different chassis for it and still
Yeah.
run the same engine and that. So that was
Right
a big
on.
thing for me with it. For doing it for one weekend, I don't have any place to ride it at home. So having a thing like that, it's more than worth it now. I'm excited.
Cool. Well, the original idea behind Monkey Bike was to have a spec class that would kind of keep costs on a low playing field. But we like to see what people want to do and see how it evolves over time. And, folks like Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans, they ran Monkey Bike as a spec class, and now they're running it as a modified class.
Yeah.
Showing off their array of talents.
Heck yeah.
How's it going, Damien? How's it going, Miss
Good,
Colleen?
good.
How's it going?
We've made it.
Damien, did you put on a couple pounds so you don't have to wear a chain around your waist this year?
I've got a metabolism so high, I can't, dude. I've tried everything.
Show
Yeah,
off.
we're just gonna make some little concrete blocks or something that we can, maybe we'll encase the engine in some concrete.
Weld some steel to it so it don't fall off.
There you go.
I'm gonna resend a couple of links here.
Yeah. I tell everybody about that chain story. You wearing the chain right there with the wrenches strapped to it and everything. It was awesome. And I'm
Monkey wrench.
I've had to reread those rules so many times because I'm like, it's not the bike and the rider, it's just the bike, right? Or the bike and trying to figure it out. And I'm like, I don't need the bike and I make weight anyway, so we'll be fine.
I'm pretty sure. What's the weight? 230.
Mhm.
I think I was like 230.5 pounds going down the track.
Gotcha. So maybe higher than that. Yeah. I won't have any trouble making the weight. So.
Well, I was kind of surprised that Shane and John didn't put no monkey wrenches zip tied to the seat.
Safety.
Well, there is a rule about securing ballast on the bike.
That's true.
Give you those burgers, Damien.
I've
Yeah,
been eating.
Since Big
Milk
James is in here, I'd ask him about the bike, and I don't know that it's completely out, but he says he'd need a jockey. Big James is like 11 feet tall, and if little James can't make it, you might have a problem, right?
Yeah.
That's much better.
Yeah, but it's there we go.
So how have you guys changed your program, specifically Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans? So now you've got a more liberal set of rules to work from.
I haven't done a whole lot. I'm still running the 3 horsepower. I've tinkered with the carburetor a little bit. I do have exhaust on it, which I had to cut because it was supposed to be for a 212, which I'm not running right now. I have a 212, but I don't like the way it's running. I think I have a small carburetor issue. It gets off and goes real good, but in the top end, I can just feel it like it's skipping somewhere and getting fuel somewhere. I do know the last time I did a test, I took my phone and attached it to my monkey bike to see how fast I'm actually going. Still takes forever to get up to around 40, but 40 mile an hour, it feels quick on that thing. It feels quick.
Oh, well, yeah, because you're right on the ground.
Yeah.
Now, we're shortening up the length, but it's going to let you guys accelerate a lot more. And like you said, with 212, we got to tell you things like bikes may only run one engine so that you don't do the tractor pull thing,
I would have done it.
But entries over 100 cc's must run naturally aspirated. And the small engines now can spray. They could run turbo, supercharger, spray, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's another thought there. It will get you moving a lot quicker.
I seriously considered that myself, going with one of the stock motors or something like that, one of the 79cc Predators, and then adding it on. But I changed my mind at the last minute before I got it.
It's kind of hard to find a nice, small little turbo, at least reasonably priced,
But
I've seen a few different people. John's glitching there. Hey, now we're
What's happening, everybody?
What's up, Jeff?
How's it
Kim,
going?
we've got Two Hacks Jeff. We've got Kim Fixes Things with Buff Del Campo in the sidecar in the house. We're just talking about monkey bike and strategy and how things have evolved. Big James, the rules are nonamenationals.com, and it's a pretty simple sheet. Okay. The main rule changes, really, all of these are main rules because we kept it simple purposefully. But we're going to allow naturally aspirated engines up to 236 cc and power adders for 100 cc and smaller. So it's interesting changes. We're going to allow different frames this year. It's worth a look.
Doubling the size of
Kim,
the
you
motor
ran
is a
last
big change.
Oh yeah,
It's a big deal.
and not having to run the stock clutch as well.
Oh wait,
Changes. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it still has to be a centrifugal style clutch.
right. Centrifugal clutch, and it has to be chain driven. So the final drive has to be chain.
I will say I'm surprised last year the amount of people let me look at the monkey bike time slips that they were getting. Everybody was coming off the line, 1.5 seconds or worse. And, just trying to count that light and just trying to push off at the right time. Dude, I was, a 0.127 off the red light. Oh, man, I almost chopped that tree straight down. Woo.
All
But
we
like I
did
said,
was we changed the sprocket on ours, and we're just going to spray it to the moon. That's pretty much it.
how many teeth you got on your rear sprocket?
I'll have to look. It was one I bought last year that we were going to swap, and we never did. But we did make a recent swap and changed up a little bit on the nitrous. Instead of one of the canister kits, it's two. So
Sketchy. That's going to be a little sketchy.
no, not really. I mean, the way I tested it was it says to hold the button twice, just for 2 seconds, no more. I put a fresh 2 canisters in it, just held them both wide open. Never did anything. So
Nice.
it blows up. It blows up.
It'll be fun.
Yes.
How many CCs are people running? What size?
79. 79.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm a 212.
Pretty sure mine's still a 98. I think so.
Yeah.
And what are you guys running, Buff and
Who
Kim?
here is thinking about doing a monster now? I think rules have opened up.
I want to change mine to a 212 and a couple other things, but we'll see. That little 79cc, the way it's running now, is actually running pretty quick. But
It's
you got to
quick.
remember, probably right at that weight limit of being legal. So
Well, I've looked around on Facebook, and I mean, last year I know Dallas and John. I mean, you guys were like, well, this one's cheap, and this would be affordable for everybody. The prices out there are insanely stupid right now.
For a 212 at least.
I mean, a used mini bike that's 5 years old, and these people want $600 for it.
yeah.
That was actually part of my thing, John, when we were doing it originally. To me, the 100 cc's were really hard to find for a good price. They were pretty expensive for what we're doing. That's why when I swapped over to when we did it this way, then it could be anything. And I just happened to end up with the same bike everybody was running to begin with. But that did factor into it.
I got a legitimate super.
We lost John. I have a sneaking suspicion this is not.
He's still there. He
He's,
just muted himself. Or he's muted and he doesn't know.
It looked funky, so weird.
Yeah.
Still muted, John.
Yeah, you're still muted.
Yeah.
Junkyard D.
What's up, D?
There we go.
Hey, there you go.
There we go.
What's up, Junkyard D?
How you guys doing?
Good.
John, that was freaking weird.
So, Buff and Kim, you guys didn't say what you guys are running for engines.
Well, I've got choices, and I got a legitimate, like one of those mini superchargers, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
real one. Like it's almost as big as that little motor. But I don't care how much boost you push. I really just don't think that 100cc and 212cc are going to be comparable. I don't think you can get 200% out of that little motor. So I think that my value would really be in putting the bigger motor on the little frame.
Yeah.
But I haven't done nothing. We just dragged it out of there to take that picture tonight. All year.
We had to get rid of the spider webs
Well,
because we've been working on other stuff.
my 212 is completely apart and getting work done to it. So we'll just go with that.
I mean, the nice thing about the 212 too is most like at the mini bike like retailers, they have high performance flywheel, high performance pistons, high performance cylinder heads, like all the things are just bolt on. Whereas with the 100cc, you really had to be like super creative, and I don't know who has the time or money for that for this little side thing.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think it's a bad thing to allow the bigger motor.
We were trying different fuels just to see how it would react,
Yeah.
and fuels did, because that the engine we put together has the high compression cylinder head, and the hotter fuels seem to react a little bit better to it, but there's a point where it kind of inhibits it, and we kind of found that out the hard way. AKA last time we drained the oil, it looked like glitter paint, but we're still gonna run it. Doesn't matter. But the different fuels do play into it. Yeah.
Are you really running it if there's not glitter in your oil?
You got to. It's just now broken in, right?
Hey, Mohawk.
How's it going, Mohawk?
Hey. Hello. I didn't cause an echo, did I?
No,
Nope.
that's good to hear.
John sent me the link and it's on my messenger on my phone. I don't have it on my laptop. So
You can email it to
I don't know
yourself.
if I need to turn it this way.
Oh,
There
that's
you go.
fine too.
Okay. I don't have my earbuds hooked to my phone, so
It's got
anyway.
noise cancellation built in.
Yes, that's the beauty of freaking StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
What so I see Hot Rod Guy Garage asks, can I put a 61 cubic inch motor on a monkey bike? You can, but you're not going to be in that class.
Yeah. Yep. I've seen some 1000cc engines put on some of them. I don't
Thanks,
recommend it.
I've been watching a
pretty
lot of
sure.
Redbeard Garage lately, and that Ghost engine that he did a couple years ago was stupid nasty. Jesus.
I didn't know about the Ghost engine when I bought mine. I would have seriously considered that a little bit more, but I got a good deal on mine, so I still would have ran it.
Revving that thing to the freaking moon.
Mhm.
Ryan, you're the bike aficionado of the group here. How fast have you ever been on two wheels?
I don't know about on the track, but on the street, well, no, it was on a track. In Mexico. about 150.
Jeez.
But I don't know about on the track. And that's a flat, straight farmland, nothing around down in Mexico where you're down the hill. You know, we'll go with that. But like I said, I've been at the track, and I have no idea because I don't have max speed and I'm not looking at the speedometer on there. So the bike had more in it for sure. But
Damien's younger sister used to date a guy that raced motorcycles.
Yeah, I think he got a license for some 200 mile an hour.
He did. He hit 200 miles an hour on a Hayabusa.
Sick nasty. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Kyle, my friend with the GTO up at his shop, I've known him since we were like 6, and he's always raced motocross, and he still races. He had a pro license for a long time, but I mean, the other side of that shop is just rows of like Kawasaki dirt bikes, you know, the on-off road style. He's got KTMs, but he got in a phase of street bikes when we were young and just absolutely stupid. But I think he holds the record for locally here, town about 150,000 for getting clocked but not stopped, and it was approaching the 200 mile an hour mark. But yeah, that was 20 some years ago. But
yeah,
he's a good motorcycle rider, that's for sure. He, like I said, he still races motocross and does a lot of hair scrambles. His son's into it now, and it's pretty fun to watch.
Blake says he's been 90 in a boat. I don't know which would be scarier, 90 in a boat or 200 on a bike.
I went 90 in a boat, and it was scary.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
You know what's funny is I was doing the 150, and that's indicated, so it's probably like 140. But motorcycle is usually 10% off on it. So if your speedometer reads 150, you're doing 10% off of that. So call it 1500. The problem was it wasn't scary. When you get the right bike, and that bike is capable of more than that, so smooth. You could just be driving down the freeway and it feels the same way, but You're like, this could go faster, but I don't want to here. So yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
I just can't imagine. It kind of weirds me out, the thought of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Fast on water is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it either.
So
We
critical.
got clocked
for this
138
contest,
on the water.
I mean, we've got a speed limit, so it's more about getting quick, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I would think. So with the 330, what that's going to allow people to do is put a lot more into how quickly their bike can accelerate. See, because that's the thing. When you're running an 1/8 mile on those bikes, it takes a long time to get up to speed, but you've got a lot more options in a 330-foot race.
That is a lot of it's fast.
Are people running jack shafts?
I thought about it, but it's just not in my budget.
I don't know why you couldn't. I mean,
It's not that expensive. Come on.
I'm spending all my money on the engine itself. So.
I know it's another $100.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm maybe running the stock tires on it. So we'll see.
fast thing, I don't know that you need to know how to swim if you have a wreck at enough speed on water. It's like liquid concrete.
Yeah.
Brick wall.
Water hurts at high speeds.
I don't know. I don't know if John realizes this, but there's how do I say this? There's kind of like a backdoor race going on between me, Damien, and JYD, Junkyard Dog. We all did this last year. I didn't have a bike last year. But out in the parking lot, when everything's done, we did a slowest ride. Because out in the parking lot by where the ticket booth is, toward the end of the track there at the parking lot, there was some yellow stripes for parking that run kind of perpendicular to the track.
I heard about this.
Yeah, Junkyard D and Damien were doing the slowest. Who could go the slowest without putting their foot down? So
I didn't find out
challenged them to it this year.
That's not
So
bad.
anybody else is welcome if they want to join the challenge.
I got $1, double or nothing.
Okay.
All right.
Slowest race.
I'll put up a Pepsi.
Hopefully I can turn my choke off this time because I had my choke on last year.
Oh,
I know.
Forgot. Yeah.
Sun was in your eyes.
Just an excuse. I needed an excuse. That's all.
Yeah. Plus, you left the big pipe wrench under the seat. You probably shouldn't have done that.
I need it real heavy. Flatten the tires. I'll go real slow.
Yeah.
Let some air out of the tires next time.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got to be quick off the line, win the race, and then afterwards be super slow.
Well, there are guys that run both the bracket and 28-10-5, so they have to
Yeah,
do
there you go.
tune-ups. You guys could too.
Heck yeah.
Now, Buick Smith asks, and this is a great question for anybody who ran the monkey bike, especially in the first two seasons. What tooth gear do most of the monkey bikes come with? What is your gearing looking like?
What's the front sprockets? What, a 12 tooth? And right now I've got a 72 on the rear sprocket, 72 teeth. I think that's what's stock right now. I do plan on going with a smaller sprocket in the rear. I just don't know how small yet.
I don't know what the stock is on the rear, but I am hoping to change that. But I'm going bigger on the rear, smaller on the front.
Okay, so
on
you're
a
going to turn some
motorcycle,
RP in.
Yeah, that's
so much smaller on the front because of the diameter of the shaft.
Yeah.
And you can't go much bigger on the back or else you scrape the ground when you're turning left.
I turn it left.
Yeah.
I will carry it to the starting line.
He didn't say what size tires he was running.
Well,
Well, then that defeats it.
You defeat your mechanical advantage if you do that. I mean, you're welcome to try, but math.
It works.
Well, I did have a tech question for the rest of like Damien probably knows, but how do you hook up a dead man switch on this thing? Like, if I accidentally fall off, how do you like
You
a
got
wrist thing, pull the spark
one
plug
line
wire or something?
One line goes to the magneto, the other line you ground it somewhere. I did my ground on the front, and your positive goes to the magneto. And when you put your switch in, it pulls the contact out to complete the circuit. So if you fall off, it pulls the switch in and disconnects the circuit to cut the motor.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll figure something out.
It's not that
We'll
hard.
be checking for those. The
You
monkey
can
bikes
get
are
Buy
going
one
to
on
be
Amazon pretty cheaply. The little lanyard and
Yep.
the switch.
Yeah.
That
Mine's
Yeah,
It
on
comes
the-
in a
Yeah.
kit with everything, the switch and
Yeah.
the
it's
cable.
pretty much just one
Where do you buy
wire.
that at?
And
Amazon, eBay, somewhere. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a small engines power sports shop. What, 4 or 5 miles from the track?
Yeah. We
Really?
Oh, okay.
forgot about having a cutoff switch last year, and I had to drive down there and say, "Y'all got a cutoff switch? I need one." I think I paid like $25 for it and drove back to the
Okay.
track and put it on.
Might be something
Yeah.
I bring 2 of this year, just 2 days.
Bad Tree Blake says a universal boat kill switch. You can use those too. I guess like on a jet ski, something like that.
Oh,
Same
yeah, yeah.
concept.
Okay.
Same concept. Yeah.
Busted
All right.
Radio Chris, he's looking at the panel. This is our monkey bikers forum that we're having. And next weekend, next Friday is going to be the burnout competition competitors. And then after that, we'll have 28 10-5. And after that, we'll have bracket. And then after that is the last Friday before the No Name Nationals. So we're going to be doing final itinerary, travel, questions, all of that good stuff. Because after that Friday, it's going to be people streaming from the burnout pit, I'd imagine. So that's what's up with this big old panel.
Chris will be live next week.
Yeah.
Burn out for the monkey bikes?
Yes, Chris. The next Friday
Roland
is going to
did.
be the burnout competition competitors, and I was going to reach out to all of you guys tomorrow. So
Yeah, Roland did a burnout with his mini bike the first year.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Him won
Kim,
the- him won
Kim
the
did as
burnout.
well.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that way.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Are you guys putting better brakes on yours, or what are you guys doing for brakes?
What are brakes?
For the burnout competition. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll put something on the bottoms of my shoes.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about how you were locking the front. If you were just lifting the rear, I know that's how a couple people did it last year, year before. So,
Yep.
Okay. I'm just curious if that's what you guys were doing for it. Mhm. Now,
Yeah.
when's the monkey
That's
bike race going to be? Is it going to be Saturday after the burnout competition?
Saturday will be eliminations.
Okay.
You can call out and such with monkey bikes before that though. I mean,
Oh,
you can have call outs, you can have grudge races. We'll just run an elimination bracket on Saturday.
Okay.
Or I
So we
should
can
say
run a-
elimination ladder to keep from confusing it with bracket.
Yeah.
But we can run all day Friday.
Oh
Good.
yeah. Yeah, oh yeah.
Testing too.
That's
Sure.
great.
You'll have to make singles or run other monkey bikes though. We wouldn't run cars and monkey bikes together.
Right.
And we sure wouldn't do it on a bracket. Could you imagine that? Having a monkey bike down there at 500 feet and then, a car running it down?
Oh, that
Oh,
would be
Lord.
hilarious.
That'd be
no cars on the track
crazy.
unless it's Turbo Tom.
Now,
Yeah.
I
Heads
asked,
up
he
with
wouldn't
him.
do it.
Dr. Go has a tech question here, and it's a good one for any of you guys. If it's at all possible to put another idler shaft in the middle so you have 2 chain drive and run a second set of reduced sprockets. See, it's just, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, jack shaft arrangement is
Yeah.
I've done it before, and it was not allowed prior to the rules change. So it is something you can do now.
Huh.
Yep. That
Stumped
could
me.
help
I've
too.
no clue.
I'm hoping to see this class just continue to get more competitive. And all it's going to take is 1 or 2 of you guys coming out here and people watching you, leaving wheels up, putting on a show for 330 feet and going, whoa, that's all it's going to take. And there's going to be more people in next year.
I've seen some quick
Yeah.
stuff on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
people are doing some crazy things with these little monkey bikes.
mhm.
Oh, there's some neat stuff out there. Really neat stuff out there.
Yeah, you look up the 330-foot drag race mini bike
Yeah.
stuff, and there's
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of information on their gearings and tires and that kind of stuff. That's the biggest thing I've had.
True.
It's top secret.
They
I
just
know.
show it off.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, that
Dylan says if y'all keep opening these rules up, I'm going to have to build one of these crazy machines, although my crew chief may not allow it. Well, I'm telling you right now, Dylan, you are a very larger person, right? I think maybe your crew chief should build one and race it.
Oh.
Jeff,
Hang
Jeff,
on.
all we have to
Hang
do
on.
is All we have to do is get Ken to run a monkey bike, and then Levi is in.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh wow.
Wheelie bars are in order for these hot off the line bikes. Man, that would if you have a monkey bike that's going to do a wheelie, that would be pretty awesome.
I don't know why not.
It's true.
Lean forward, lean way
It was
forward.
part of my original plan. But
Yeah,
I
I put one on mine.
think the biggest deal is like Kim saying is you can't get a big enough sprocket on there on the rear wheel.
Right.
And that's for what we're doing with it. I think that's going to be the problem with it. So.
Well, Lars can tell you I need a wheelie bar on mine.
We have Levi's crew chief, Brooke. She says, this is said crew chief and no thank you. And Mopar Dean is in the chat. How's it going, Mopar Dean? Long time no
Mopar
see.
Dean.
Thanks for being here. Mopar Dean, are you going to make the No Name Nationals this year? We'd love to see you if so. Bad Tree says that Jeff's gigantic stature is good for something. I got to tell you, so let me ask you, what do you guys think about the weight breaks on the monkey bike? Because, we got people of all different size here. So what are your thoughts on that, and how are you going to navigate it?
Well, Blake knows I'm 7'2" on camera and 5'9" in real life. So it's just I'm in real life I'm like WWF wrestler or on video, but in real life I'm like jockey weight. So I'm gonna get down to jockey weight for the monkey bike and the dragster. So you got to have that fine line.
That's my hope as well, basically, for the weight issue with it.
Yeah.
So check this out. Our friend Mopar Dan is getting his 72 Cornet, his really nice looking show car, 72 Cornet, ready to drive to Sykeston from New York. And I'm looking forward to seeing you, man.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's going to be awesome.
Glad it's going to work out for you.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the rules here. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the rules, and I think it's like 230 pounds. So my strategy is I just have to lose about 225 pounds to get on there in a month. So that's my strategy.
I need a bike that weighs about -30. That's
I'm good as long as my bike weighs 30 pounds. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Talking about
Junkyard
weight, do we have to run a seat?
Do you?
I'm asking. I'm just saying. 7 pounds of horsepower.
There was some purpose to this. We really, truly did try to make a fairly liberal set of rules, and we're letting you guys have a whole lot of leash with this, right? Like these aren't NASCAR rules at all. Because what we found the first 2 years is that there were an awful lot of people who were not exploiting the simplest things in the rules. Like, for instance, they'll just give you one example, because I'm not trying to tell anybody how to game the rule book. That's not my job, nor should I do it. I don't think it's ethical.
Yeah.
Because I would see things that Dallas and I both thought, man, I can't believe nobody tried that, right? I think Roland tried a lot more exploitation of the rule book than anybody. Okay. But we gave you a lot of room here. And so when we said things like you can't run nitromethane or monopropellants, we didn't tell you what you could run. You could run alcohol. The rules said that these gasolines were permitted. And then it said these, like nitromethane and monopropellants like benzene, hydrazine, are prohibited.
So I will tell you.
It didn't say anything about alcohol. For example,
like I said, I was playing around with fuels with Jeffrey's bike, and I had a bunch of methanol mixed with nitro laying around, and we did run it on that. And I'm telling you, it was a whole different story with the 40% nitro and the rest of it methanol. But I could see why it's dangerous. It was really making some weird noises, but it was fun.
Did you rejet for it?
What's that?
Did you rejet for it?
It's a good time.
No, he just poured it in there and just put a plug in it with a wide gap and just wide open. It didn't like low RPMs, but man, once it started singing, it really started singing.
Yeah, you get that fuel flowing.
Hey, T's Good Time Garage says, anybody need a hired gun? I will tell you, I believe that Stephen Myrick says he's going to sell his monkey bike this year, and Dallas has a monkey bike but would need a jockey. So you could ride for Mr. Rodder's neighborhood. So there may be 2 opportunities to drive one right there.
Yeah.
I would recommend reaching out to him. And
If I
T
don't
says no
lose
money to
200
build
some
the
pounds.
budgets. He's taught the budget of just getting there. I certainly understand, and we thank you for coming out. We're looking forward to seeing you again.
If somebody wants a bike just to maybe not as competitive, but just to participate, then we also have a bike for that purpose. We have more than one.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Blake
awesome.
I'm not
wants to
going to
know
take
how much.
this one apart to rebuild. I'm going to start from scratch. So if somebody wants to, it's race proven.
It's true.
It's proven not to win.
And Jeff has driven. Jeff was a jockey driver on that one year.
I was.
Yeah.
That Blake wants to know how big a shot of spray a stock monkey bike can handle. So
All of it.
Blake, I'm telling you, like they actually take quite a bit. You got to remember those engines are the tolerances in them when you buy them. I mean, they're just garbage. They're nothing real crazy. So I know, like in this one, I'm running I think a 2050 weight with high zinc, and I'm telling you, you can just beat the living hell out of them, and they just don't seem to break.
They're just lawnmower engines. They're designed to run at full throttle all the time.
Yeah.
They make enough power to break themselves.
Exactly.
Right.
how many RPM do they turn stock? And I know there's with or without governor, but what kind of RPMs have you guys gotten out of them?
I never.
That's a good question. I don't know.
The other person, James may know that because he put one on a chassis dyno, but that's turning that giant drum. I wonder what one actually.
There's people out there that have it. I just don't remember what it is.
Yeah, you got to remember their magneto ignition. So getting a signal off that correctly is a little bit goofy.
Yeah.
But
with a governor out and with the flywheel done right, I mean, you should be well over $6,000.
Oh, yeah. I would think with that little engine,
They don't pull up there though. I mean, if there was no weight with no load, maybe.
I don't know. I have no idea. And the problem is you're going to have trouble getting to that RPM range in 330 feet.
Right.
So,
that's the point.
Yeah. Yep.
True.
That's where your gearing is going to make a big difference. Because, I mean, factory, what do they run? 30 miles an hour? Well, you're not even going to get 30 miles an hour in the 330 feet with it. You'll be lucky to hit that, I would think, on a stock bike.
Well, that was the whole point, is to get you guys to be able to move your gearing, move your power bands, and make these things quick.
So that when maybe if we're calling, a there's a low ET thing for the event and all this and the fastest 28 by 10.5, whatever, maybe get something going for the fastest mile an hour. Like what are people guesses on it? I mean, 30 and 330 feet. I can tell you right now that Jeffrey's little mini bike will hit 30 and 330 feet.
Oh, yeah.
And it just dies after that. It has nothing after that. Oh, factory. No, there's no way.
Yeah. But with some work.
Nothing over 48 miles an hour.
45.
45.
Yeah, you're right, though. Those things from the
With or without
factory
the
are dogs. Yeah.
I mean, with the 98cc motor, I was getting mine up to 43 miles an hour. So if you double the cc's, I mean, you can go too fast if you're not careful.
That's
but
what I'm thinking.
Not in that distance unless you really are screaming. And then the other problem I found is, those motors don't really build any power down low. They're not so torquey. So that clutch, that centrifugal clutch, it just grabs so quick that then you're like behind so bad. It's really hard to get them spinning up, and to get it really going, you're modifying a lot.
If you took one of those 212s and took about 50 thousandths off the cylinder head, took the governor out, maybe rejetted it and ran like 114 octane race fuel and ground those clutch weights and got it to launch at like 5,000, 4,000. Boy, that
Oh,
would be
yeah.
a ripper. That would be a ripper right there.
And if you're gonna spin the motor up that high, you have to have an aftermarket flywheel, or else it'll explode, and you don't really want to do that.
Someone needs to make a tunnel ram for one instead of just bolting right there. Seriously, make something with a high velocity because those things pull real hard on the top end.
Yeah. Or you could find some way to get the clutch to engage later.
Yeah.
So it didn't start until you were at higher RPM.
For those thinking a 330-foot race is short, I want to remind you that's still longer than a football field.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we watch people race on the football field all the time. This is longer than that.
Yeah,
Rob,
for some
this is our
reason in my
monkey bike
mind, I
section.
expected it real short. In my mind, I see 330 foot, and it just seems like
It's not 60 feet.
yeah. I think I might be thinking 60 feet.
I'm there with you though too. I'm like, and you're done. I'm like, oh no, it's not going to be that at all. It's
That's what it seems
On
like.
those mini bikes, it's more like bah.
Well,
Yeah.
we got a 100-foot tape measure.
Yeah,
We'll go out there and mark out 330 feet down the road.
yeah. All right.
Google
Yeah.
Maps is good for that too. By the way, you can drop pins
Yeah.
and tell you what the distance is.
So what do we do as a group to hype this class, to bring in more pomp and more
Well, we say hi to Just Mopar Joe for starters.
Come on,
Hey,
Joe.
Joe.
And
Build
Rob
something
Jones.
stupid, fast, and crazy. I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
Sean O'Brien says, go clean the track for the drag crew. 330 is a lot. He works at a time.
So the way
Yeah.
we were testing Jeffries was with the what do you call that thing? GoPro. What's a damn thing?
Oh, the
Draggy.
yes.
Yeah, we were testing with the Draggy. Yeah, and it works pretty well like that. And he's got on his phone when he goes out and flies around the country with it, like speedometer thing, and plays around. But it's neat. I think it's a really awesome idea, and I think I would love to get my hands on a 212 and make something super high compression with a lot of race gas to it. I think that would be fun.
Real quick, back
Very
to
good.
real quick to Dizzy, and then back to Kim's point. He says check out Schmidt Show Garage. That's Barclay's channel.
Yeah.
He's about halfway on his subs, so just that administrative point. And back to Kim. How do we hype this class? What I would say is put on the best show you can, and let's have a competitive field this year. And then let's hope some people see it and say, "Hey, I think I can do better," whether they can or not. It's immaterial. Let them come out and try.
Right.
It's fun. I mean, I haven't got to do the race yet, again, because I haven't been there. I've raced a bunch of the monkey bikes, in grudge matches and stuff with it, but it's just a good time. It's fun. Everybody, I mean, the whole event is that way too, but it's just, there's a whole different mentality with the mini bike because of the fact that they're not that fast.
When I was racing Randall, whenever we went up there for the final elimination race, I was like shaking in my boots. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna beat this airplane looking crazy build that this guy's got.
That was crazy.
And
Yeah.
he was
was
having
weird.
trouble. It's crazy. Yeah. I just him having all that trouble was on my side, but at the same time, I was last race. I was like, I need to chop this tree so hard, but hey, it is what it
Not
is.
close. That bike was fast, man. Yours was fast, really fast. I was surprised.
I didn't do anything to it, man. It was
Somebody
weird.
did.
I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, because we bought it from some kid, still living at his mom and dad's house. I mean, he couldn't have been much over 18, if that.
It's still got the
And
governor in it.
He said it's stock. I never did anything to it.
It's weird.
I
I
mean,
think
we
does
were
40
trying
mile
to
an
make
hour.
sure that we stayed inside the rules.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, after hearing everything and John and Dallas making those rules and their question, like why this didn't get done, this could have been done. Reading the rules this year, I'm reading the rules that nobody can see. That's what I'm looking for this year.
There aren't any rules you can
Doesn't say I
So if you guys want some inspiration, just go watch documentaries on Smokey Unit.
The point is, the rule book evolves. It should evolve in response to what people do.
Yeah.
If somebody does something that's pushing the envelope and we say, okay, we need to put a limit on this next year so somebody doesn't get greased, right? Okay,
Yeah.
we get that. But that's the point is we want people to look at the rules and read what they say and read what they don't. And the rules can evolve with what people want to do. Like I was watching, and I put this on my community tab. If anybody thinks tech inspection is tough to No Name Nationals, you should see tech inspection for a $40,000 prize demolition derby.
Oh yeah.
Those guys build these cars like tanks. They have over 500 hours in a car, and you can't even tell what they started with. They're so heavily modified. And one guy showed up with kingpins. He took, because the ball joints are a weak spot in these cars, right? So he just
Yeah.
took them out and he put these gigantic truck kingpins out of something like a 2-ton truck in there. And he just said to the tech inspector, he says, well, there's nothing that said we couldn't run kingpins.
Yeah.
And the tech inspector said, well, there will be now. He says, okay, that's the next race's problem.
Yep.
So, these things happen. And I wouldn't want anybody to get their ego hurt because they didn't put something in in the rules. That said, we do have to have some common sense. If somebody comes up with something and says, well, it didn't say, that I couldn't stand on the seat and whatever. I mean, there does have to be some common sense because we don't want anybody getting hurt. But at the same time, we do appreciate people trying to innovate.
I'm not.
And there's a
Hey,
lot of room to
Joe.
do it here because unlike cars that have a lot of engineering, these don't.
Hey, John. Huh.
Say hi to Andrew
Hey, what's
Nelson
going on,
and
Barrows?
Barrows and
Yeah.
Grit. I see them joining the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Thanks for
Rob,
coming out.
Yeah.
I have
See,
a
on my
question.
phone, I can't see the chat, but I got my laptop,
Blue
so I
Grit
can kind of
asks,
glance over here.
Mine's all the way over there.
Blue,
Look all the way
Blue Grit
upstairs.
asks, how was the shake on the monkey bike?
Mine's
So
not too bad.
how do they handle?
I've never ridden
They
one.
handle like crap.
Yeah, they handle really crappy.
You'll feel every bump in the track, and
Yeah.
all that. Real
There's
quick,
no
I guess I
suspension.
didn't read all. I'm horrible about reading rules because I just absolutely hate rules. But
Because you're
you
Jeff.
weigh. I know, right? So you weigh yourself, if I remember right, with the bike, right, to make sure you're in that weight range.
Yes.
Deke will add you together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's what he did. I got some ideas on that then.
You gonna try
Shoot.
the Barney Fife thing where you wore the ID tag that had a really big chain?
No,
So,
you don't
Junkyard
have to do
Dave, I have a
that.
question
You
for
don't even have to do that. Hey, John, I'll just give you a hint. Shawshank Redemption. Just think that over and you'll know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Just don't do it on the track.
Junkyard D, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What are your plans for Jack after his fiasco when you got back last year?
He'd been mutilated.
He's been mutilated. He still is. I haven't really even touched him other than firing him up. Yeah, there's still a lot to do. I don't know what my plans are yet. It's still got the stock engine in it. I do have a 212 on reserve, so that's most likely going to be swapped in there soon in the next month. And then who knows from there. So
Sean
Player
O'Brien, he
gearing
mentions
and stuff.
helmet. I'm sorry. I when I see these go by, I don't know when they're going to go off the screen, but I'll save that one for a minute. But go ahead, D.
Oh, nothing. I just play with gearing, play around with it, hopefully get some ride time on it. I haven't ridden this thing since basically down at No Name last year. So, and it's been, shoved in the corner, collecting dust since then. So, but I'm going to get on it here. Like next week, I think I'm going to start tearing her down and making some changes. But I do have a question for John. In this sheet here, and I think I've asked this before, but there is a option or a rule that says no suspension allowed. And I question that. I understand why you and Professor P kind of came up with that, and I'm thinking it's more for rear suspension, so it's not like a motorcycle, it's more like a hardtail mini bike. But I've got front suspension on there that I put on there, And I know a lot of, since we have different models of bikes, some of them come with front suspension, like I think the CT200 does, the Moto X.
Factory frame.
I mean, a number of them do. So, is front suspension allowable, or can we make a modification to the rules for that?
Well, it says no suspension is allowed, and I'm curious because we don't want them to turn into dirt bikes and weight transfer machines and so forth. They ask 113 cycles. What do you think about the suspension rule on the bikes?
That's perfect. Yeah, you can get a lot of power out of suspension because, you do that next year. I'm showing up with a really nice suspension valve, and when you
It's
take
going
off,
to have a foot of travel.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you.
That's kind of what I think P was thinking along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I don't care if you do front or rear. I'm going to take full advantage of that if you let me run the suspension on it.
That's going to be key to the weight transfer, I'd assume, on those things.
Yep.
And you could run it practically on the wheelie bar and keep the tire pointed that way.
Absolutely. Yep. More pressure on the rear, less on the front. Less rolling resistance.
Would there be a feasible way to lock the suspension if you were to have a set of forks, say, that had it? Would there be a way to lock that for the purposes?
They make fork locks for dirt bikes. So
they?
Guys that launch off out of the gate on dirt, they push the forks all the way down. There's a little lock, and it's so you're over, and once you go and come up, it releases. It makes a huge difference.
I think he's more talking about if somebody shows up with suspension, how you could lock that suspension so you wouldn't be able to use that travel with it. Because I think there's launch control and all that kind of stuff on different bikes where you lower the whole bike down and when it takes off, it stays low. You could
That's a good question.
I don't know.
And Professor P is in here, and that Professor P, you joined at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
So we're having a discussion about the advantages, the potential advantages, if we were to have allowed suspension on the monkey bikes this year, and what the thinking is in not allowing front suspension or front or rear. And 113 cycles, he's a cycle guy. I thought he'd be an interesting one to ask that question.
I'll be right back. My phone's dying.
Yeah.
And while Professor P is chiming in on that, Andrew Nelson is just wanting to tell everybody that he is on the move for 28.10.5, it looks like. Slant Daily says no weight transfer. It's a huge difference. And I can absolutely see that. That's the first thing I think, especially if you ran a wheelie bar. You could run a crazy amount of weight transfer if you had suspension on the front.
Yeah, you can do that a lot.
Well, just like Jeff's saying, you could, like the dirt bikes, they lock that front end down and gets it lower. As soon as you hit the gas, it goes up higher because of the fact that you had it locked, and then you get that more traction on the rear, which gives you that launch with it.
I just remember Evel Knievel said that if he'd had the kind of suspension when he was jumping like they have now, he could jump the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, it apparently makes a huge difference on something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at motorcycle racing, I know, sure a lot of people aren't into that, but like I said, like the top classes like MotoGP and stuff,
there we go. Okay.
They pull up to the line because they do a parade lap first, but warm-up lap, and they come up, and you'll see all of them stop like this, and then the whole bike lowers down. You can easily do that on these. It'd be, theirs is a little more electronical, but you can easily do that with dirt bike type stuff.
GoPro, cheap one.
It's over.
Nice sweater, Silver. Nice sweater.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Shane does say the rules were set up so everyone can race without too many variables, and that's true. And Professor P, what I was telling him is that we specifically did not put too much in here, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to encourage innovation in the rules, and this can be adjusted as needed.
Hey, JB.
I think suspension can get expensive real quick.
So you're putting any in?
Oh, that would get super, super, super expensive fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we are saying it's as printed as the rules are, no suspension, are we allowed to leave the suspension on? Or for anything that's in the rules, can we leave things on the bike if they're not functional, if they don't meet the requirements? In other words, put a strap on or something and lock that front suspension so it can't travel. Is that sufficient? Even though there's suspension there, but it's not functioning.
My thought on that is sure, because
Yeah.
we're not talking about a race with $1,000 buy-in and a huge purse here and people building frames. That's not what we're talking about. We're just trying to keep these enormous variables out that will render so many people uncompetitive. So if you're talking about doing something like that to negate the advantage, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't want to take anything too super seriously, but I also don't want to give people opportunities to exploit the rules. But the thing is that's one great thing about the No Name Nationals. Just to be here, you've had to earn your 500 subs. You tell everybody who you are. You're on camera. They know your name. You guys talk to each other all year long. And so we wind up having a lot more honorable people participating in this thing. Like we have never had to go look for somebody cheating in the bracket, for example, running a box when they should. We've never had that because there's just so much more accountability and stuff. So, you know, D, if we don't, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Well,
I think I know why he's stuck on that, because you know how
We
hard
don't
it
want
is
to
to
make
get,
anything too hard to build.
it is very hard to get forks for a CT100U right now. It is not easy getting front forks for a
Yeah,
CT100U.
everybody's sold out.
Yeah, they're not out there right now.
he already has the bike and it has the suspension on it. He shouldn't have to change it, that one thing, when you can just strap it down. Stop. I don't. There's got to be a way to do it. I'm not familiar where you could put spacers in there or something so it takes the springs out. I don't know, but strapping it down would be. I think that'd be great.
And normally I would be able to just take this, the front end that came with it and put it back on there. But I used that metal to make my bars, my ape hangers I had on there. And welded it, and those got lost in the whole fiasco of it getting stolen and stuff. So when I got it back, it had these stupid little drag bars on there, which is nuts. And because the cables were up here before, and they put these drag bars on, I think because the cable's so long, they put the throttle over on this side. So now, so now you got to roll forward because it's backwards. Roll forward on the left side to go. So it's the most awkward.
Faster, right? I want to go faster.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go forward.
So it's like an old Indian.
Yeah.
Shane agrees. Strapping it down would be fine.
Okay.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having a.
Yeah, me either. I changed
That
that
is
to a
weird.
Yeah, I think the only person that we really need to watch out for as far as cheating goes is somebody that sneaks around and covers up his air cleaner and adds NOS to his engine.
Well,
I'll just say there would be such an easy way, and I'll just throw this out there, for naturally aspirated engines over a certain cubic inch limit to run nitrous hidden on those bikes. Very simple way.
Yep.
That's a whole rabbit hole discussion, but yeah, there's a lot of ways to hide nitrous, but nitrous is allowed 100 cc's and down anyway.
Well, I'm just saying over 100 cc, there's a very simple way, and I know Shane raced motocross for years. I've been around motocross my whole life too. I did that a lot too, as far as working on them for somebody. But there's a very simple way that you can hide power on that.
Why? It's the most weirdest handling thing I've ever ridden. Why would you want to make it worse?
It's a drag race, I mean, just going in a straight line.
Well, I'm just saying, for like off-road purposes, especially like a hare scramble, and you have, 300, 400 foot open field area to go through, and you can get two bikes ahead and get into a turn. Yeah, that's big. But but yeah, there's a lot of ways. Yeah.
Here's the thing, just from a promoter standpoint, we want people to follow and honor the rules. But if we had a monkey bike nitrous scandal, like they had in pro stock in the 90s, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
That'd be hilarious.
No, it wouldn't.
At least they're bringing attention to it. Hey, somebody brought attention to the monkey bike racing.
It'd be talked about all year.
I think
Oh,
Pete
Lord.
has the opportunity to strip down the bike, do nothing, every nut and bolt, in a pile, to verify it. And I think somebody out there would recognize the sound of a nitrous hit on that bike, Jeff. So if you want to be that guy, just go for it. But
You're not going to hear it. You're not going to hear it. You're not going to hear
no,
it. If you build it right, you ain't going to hear it.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah,
Andrew says horsepower makes them stable.
yeah.
Okay.
You guys want Andrew Nelson to jump into the monkey bikes?
No.
Why not?
Yes.
We'll have a data logger attached to it. Okay, I need to do this to the carburetor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd love to see that. I'd like to see that. I like
Viper
your. I like.
inline
I like
212
their.
with a turbo.
Yeah. It looks like 212, but it's more like 975 in this little.
He would run.
Got the
He
full
would
cord
run
on
a
it from the
97
212. So it's got to be a
cc.
212.
He'd run a 97cc inline of some kind with turbo on it.
Yeah.
I can
And then,
see it now.
he'd show up with one of the old Indian motorcycles that were an inline 4.
Yeah.
Like a 6-foot frame.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Hammy heads.
Nitro Nelly to the front.
Yeah.
I looked at a ton of engine combinations with it. I even had a friend offer me a 125 2-stroke alcohol boat engine to run on it. And I was like, wait a second. That's not going to be chain driven final drive. It's not going to have, it's got transmission to it. And I was like, that would have been so cool. So,
wow.
Yeah, I looked at a lot of different options of engines you could run on these, but it just didn't make sense on most of them. It's the centrifugal clutch that hurt you the most on it for me. And the transmission.
That's the big part about it.
No transmission. Yep.
See, you know what class you move up into when you get in there, don't you, Ryan?
What?
Motorcycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to.
That's where you are.
I mean, you look at back in the day when they first started putting like V8s on motorcycles in the 60s, those guys were launching off a pedestal. They'd do a burnout, come up the line because it was just direct drive, and they would literally get that thing going, and they would drop it, and it'd be frying the tire. I can't remember. There was one famous guy that did a lot of it, and I mean, it looks like a lot of fun, but you got to have some cojones to do that.
Yeah.
Dizzy, are you going to run an entry monkey bike with a chainsaw engine?
Do it.
You get a lot of video, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You can see him with a monkey bike to match the angry vagrant.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey.
Barrows has a good point here. He says, better yet, video all your cheats. It's great content. You're right, but release it after the No Name Nationals.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
Here's how I won No Name.
Yeah.
I didn't get caught. Take that.
Yeah.
so here's why I got disqualified.
Here's what you didn't see.
Yeah. How are you going to check fuels, John?
That's a deep question.
The sniffer test.
Yeah, sniffer test.
Well, I mean, you can hide smells pretty well. I know that.
Oh,
Yeah, C10 had some stuff that'll make your gas smell like potpourri.
Yeah.
You never
I got
know
some
what
right
it
here.
was.
This stuff.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it.
we're on biofuel, so it smells like French fries. That's what we
Yeah.
are.
Yep.
Dizzy's bringing his Honda 125 Monkey, his pit bike.
Yeah.
So he can't be in the class, but he is bringing a mini bike.
Yeah. I might have my CT90 again. I'm not sure yet or not.
Andrew Nelson says mini bike with a tire rule, and we might jump in. But we did have a tire rule on them, but we got to look at where the class is going and what they want to do.
Yeah. There's just not enough what I've seen mini bike stuff as far as trying to find slicks and stuff. It's hard to find one that's designed as a racing slick and not as a lawnmower.
You
Right.
have to make
And well, the lawnmower is not designed to burn and heat. I mean, obviously anything's going to rubber sticky, but it's not the same as another slick. And I just don't see anything out there that has anything like that.
There's not a lot of compounds to choose from.
Yeah. It's either
Like a-
this
like
one
on
or a
a-
lawnmower.
What
Well,
about
that's
a
why
junior
you need to go
dragster?
scrape the rubber off.
Yeah.
Screw
I got a nice bald
Crazy.
one, but I don't have enough horsepower to spin it.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking about the brake earlier. Are we just going to lift the rear to do burnout?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have the coordination to do that while
Yeah.
I'm staring at a tree. I'm more likely to fall down than I am to win.
Me too. That's why I was curious.
Oh my Lord.
Well, you never know.
Go ahead.
We want to get the monkey bikes out in the group photo. So like we have each year. Come on out.
Yeah.
Small, you can see everything.
I'm still, well, I guess I'm not, but I'm still sticking to trying to make it look as stock as possible. You know, I still want it to look like there's absolutely nothing special with mine, and then just, you know, that's kind of my plan right now, but we'll see. We'll
Cool.
see.
I like it.
I'm not doing that.
You only got a month.
I want mine to not look stock at all without being able to modify the front.
Andrew says we looked at a few things for year one, but we knew we'd get out of sort trying to make dumb power. Yeah.
There's a lot of ways you can do that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of ways you can do that.
So Mohawk, what are you running?
It's a 212.
Oh, okay.
A little Predator motor.
Yeah, that's what I'm running. What are you?
It's got the aftermarket flywheel and the aftermarket clutch. So
About all you need on that 212. Them 212s are.
Yeah, it's pretty fun for what it is.
Yeah. That's what I've got. I've got a built 212. We'll say it's not crazy or anything yet.
I'm telling you, if you need to take that 212, take 50 thousandths off that head, or even more, you know, if you want to play around with some of the Play-Doh and all that, but take that thing down, get that carburetor, build a spacer like a tunnel ram, jet it, and get rid of that governor. These things like compression. And Andrew says nitro. And like I said, we ran that methanol through it with the nitro. And I still have both my legs, most of my toes. But I'm telling you, those things like compression and race fuel. I think that would be, and they like nitrous too, but it would be
put like a smaller head gasket on it, which would help, and a high compression piston with it too. They make them. So
yeah.
What does that say?
Yep.
No.
Nitro.
And if you curious question for Andrew Nelson. If you were going to build one of these with your options, you know, you can go 100 cc's and down and run a power adder up to 236 actually and go naturally aspirated. And looking at these simple rules, and if you guys want to take a quick look at them, the rules are much simpler for year 3, Andrew Nelson. I mean, much simpler. How would you build one? What would be you guys' general thoughts? I'm just curious because the Nelsons are known for building some really impressive stuff, and not always the way everybody else would.
Well, I can tell you that, you know, the motorcycle stuff doesn't really help me a whole lot with this. These are lawnmower engines. Anybody that's worked on lawnmowers has the same advantage that I do as far as the motors go with it. I mean, your general knowledge that you have of engines and stuff and valves and pistons and cams and all that, that all is the same with everything. With it, obviously, you're single cylinder compared to like an 8 or something like that. But it's definitely more.
Levi, how do you get that? It just means you mix. That's not what it says. That's a crazy interpretation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if a fowl is not allowed in the prison and you bake it inside of a cake, does that mean it's cool all of a sudden?
Well, Nelson, with the 100 cc and under, if you can find something to make boost, you can use boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do make them. I've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how effective they are, but they do make them.
Has anybody thought about building a custom cylinder head out of something else on one of these? Because there's
into it.
If anybody's got like a
Hi, Max Wedge.
Levi, you're reading it more than a class racer. You're reading it as a science fiction novelist. I give you a huge high five for that, though. I like it. I think it's great.
So I got a guy down the road. He had picked up a Predator. Well, it's a Hammerhead. I know it's a. It was so mixed up. I really can't tell you. I'm pretty sure it was a Chinese hammerhead block. It did, in fact, have a Predator head on it. But when he brought it to me, he was over here yanking on the thing. And it's like, dude, there's something wrong internally with this thing. And he just kept trying to get it running. I don't know how. We were able to get it running. But every time you hit the gas, it would die. It's like, dude, leave the thing here and let me take it apart. I took the 4 bolts off of I took 4 bolts out of the valve cover, and it had a bent freaking push rod. This kid could have just literally, I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, let me do this. And there's my problem. And then I go and fix it up. I still don't know how this happened, but I measured when I put two new push rods in it. I made sure I had my 2,000 gap and 3,000 gap between. I forget which one it is. And he brought it back to me yesterday, and a freaking push rod had fell out. I don't know. I don't. Being that it's a hammerhead block with with mixed up parts, I was completely flabbergasted that he brought it to me with the same push rod falling out. The valves looked fine. The cam looked fine. The governor was completely taken out. I don't understand how that push rod had fallen out, and I had to retighten the rocker so the push rod wouldn't fall back out. I don't know. I redid everything, put it back together, and he's good now. But I just for some reason feel like that push. I don't know. I feel like the exhaust push rod's gonna fall out next time. But
so here's an idea. Here's an idea. So you guys know how a golf cart works, right? You push the pedal and the thing starts going, right? Yeah. And that's kind of got like a centrifugal clutch, and it moves together and goes. I do know even if that's locked and those engines have low end torque, it will even if it's locked, it'll actually start going, and within a split second, it just takes off. And you can take the governors out of and a lot of them, like Yamahas, you can adjust, and it's like instantaneous throttle. And those things are kind of low end, but they will sing the RPMs to the moon if you do it right. So if you just think about it a little bit, if you had a go-kart or a golf cart engine and you just put your sprocket on it, and a clutch, and it would be almost direct drive, by the time it's going to be off. It's not going to be started. So when you twist that throttle, it kicks it on like a golf cart. Boom, it's gone. Just think about that for a second. The way those things work.
Yeah.
It does have a belt system, but it's got a shaft out there. So that shaft, by the time it rotates and grabs that and goes, it's already fired. But if you took one of the centrifugal clutches off that thing and you turned it down, threaded it so that it goes over there with the bolt, with that clutch, and you had a high RPM clutch on there, and you ground the weights, so it's spinning just like that belt is loose before it gets the tension. Because by the time it fires, that mechanism does this, and it grabs the belt. Well, if you had one of those clutches ground down and it's spinning, probably around 3,000-4,000 RPMs, that thing would fire. It'd be instantaneous throttle, and it's got low end torque because those things are meant for 500 pounds, and a lot of them are single cylinder. And I'm telling you, there's a governor that can be easily manipulated on them.
Unfinished, you're not right.
Mohawk, you want to tell us what's so funny?
Yeah, I didn't.
I read unfinished projects and comment.
Oh,
yeah, sure, yeah. That thing's just slapping around in there right now, and it's like, dude,
one was too tight, one was too loose.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what, the kid down the road with his mini bike. Now, him and Damien run and ride all the time. But when this kid starts working on his mini bike,
something goes wrong.
He can go live with Rich, because those two would be perfect. It's like, dude, stop. And he's looking for a job right now. I said, what kind of job are you looking for? He said, mechanic.
No. I mean, in order for
hey man, he might be good at it. We don't know.
Just give the kid a weed whacker and go cut some grass.
Yeah, man. He said mechanic, and I don't. He was over here last weekend, and he said something. And the only thing that I could think of, and unfortunately my filter was clogged, and it just kind of rolled out. And I went, "And you want to be a mechanic?"
Hey, we're here. Come on, Rock that. Look.
Got that straight. Nope.
So if you guys know how Yeah, it would be neat to take one of those cylinder heads too on one of those 212s, or if you look at it, they're pretty flat in the way the valves work. But it'd be
Right.
neat to take one of those, mill it down, but angle mill it to get that plug more directly fired on there, the way how the exhaust and all that works. I wonder if you really put an angle mill with a lot more compression, how that would help.
Or if you made it like
I
a
know it
Hemi
helps
head.
a lot. Yeah, kind of like in the Hemi head, but like I know a lot of people with small block Chevys, if it was one of the
Yeah,
high compression
V-head.
engines with the bumps, they would angle mill them so it was more matched to the actual piston bump. But I know looking at the cylinder head in this thing, the way the combustion chamber was angled, man, you could really get that more turned more one way. So, like the flow intake in and out, it would be a whole lot different. I'll have to
Well, I
maybe
mean,
play around with
they
it.
make a Hemi 212, right?
They do. But if you really took that down, and made more compression, I'm telling you,
That's
there's a
true.
lot that can be done.
Yeah.
So taking apart that guy's 212 hammerhead, whatever Frankenstein engine, because I haven't taken mine apart, and I had to take my valve cover off to make sure that this was a thing, because I didn't look it up until after I found it. I had no idea there was a compression release on the cam. Now, what happens if you grind that part of the cam off so there is no compression relief, or grind just enough to shorten it? Would that be a thing?
Good question.
It may not start.
Well, it's centrifugal. So once the cam is spinning, it doesn't
It's
have
gone.
any effect.
I got you. Okay.
The
Okay.
compression release is generally just for starting.
Keeps the kickback off. I got you.
Okay, yeah, that's
It was weird. I'd never seen that before. I was like, I'm used to V8s, V6s, and stuff, and it goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. There is no up, down. Here you go. Up, down. There. I was like, whoa, something is not right here.
Professor
Wild
P is
stuff.
in the house on a Friday.
Yeah.
It's a rare
Shame.
treat.
We were having technical difficulties. We were getting a lot of feedback, and I had you on the big screen up here in the garage, and it was feeding back through. So here's a little shop. You guys never really see my shop. So that's my road race car. That's my '68 Dart.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
There's that's the '66.
Yeah.
So
Cookie
yeah,
Monster.
and that's cash.
And cash.
Hey, Cash.
Yeah, so I wrote the rules because I used to race motocross, and I did a lot of street bike racing, and I did a lot of supermoto. So I knew kind of how to bend the rules. So when I came to when me and John Wilbur were talking about these rules here, I was looking at making it affordable but yet competitive at the same time. And taking out some of the things that would cost a lot of money, because I came in right at the suspension, and I was like, oh, as soon as suspension comes into something, that makes it cha-ching,
Yeah.
But there is a lot of room in these rules. There's a lot to be interpreted still in here.
Absolutely.
So this is not like, these are not NASCAR type of rules here. There's a lot. These are very basic rules. We just don't want anybody getting hurt, getting too crazy fast. But we gave you guys a lot of room to work here.
Okay.
I agree.
Thank you. I think it was a good decision.
You're back.
Sorry about that. I'm back. Apologize.
The good decision part will be, we just want to see a good competitive field this year. And I got to tell you, this year it's looking really good. This looks like an exciting field.
Yeah.
What I like about the class is it's a level playing
Yeah.
field.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry. We're on Wi-Fi right now in the garage. So.
Oh wait, it almost
Do you
happened.
want to?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Do you mind if we jump out?
So,
You're
like I
awesome
say,
ventriloquist. I could hear you in your
playing
lipstick moving.
field, and it's what ingenuity, like Jeff is talking about. Well, let's throw some compression at it. Oh, let's throw a supercharger at it. It gives you
there tonight.
the ingenuity to actually do something different than everybody else when it's all the same platform. So that's why I like it. And the rules really gave us more flexibility as to what bike you can choose, what engine you can choose, what combinations, what gearing, all that stuff. So kudos. I think it's going to be more.
So has anybody thought about using off the actual drive shaft, because you got your clutch? But I know these things don't make a whole lot of exhaust gases to really spin up a turbo real quick. But what about if somebody was to do a belt-driven blower right off that shaft? It's going by RPM.
Technically, you can't use a belt.
Well, it's not your drive though.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
your
not
drive belt.
Oh, no drive belt. That's correct.
Yeah, it has
That's
to be
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've got one, but you have to be under 100 cc, and I'm telling you that the double the
No.
displacement is not worth giving up in order to get a supercharge.
There's
Because
I
now
mean,
you
I
have
spend
weight.
the money, and I'm not even going
About
to use it.
that.
yeah.
John doesn't know about that.
I don't know. We'll see. I think
Yeah.
the right power adder at 100 cc's can blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yep. And I hope somebody shows up with it because I would love to see it.
We're going to find out.
Yeah. Yep.
We're going to find out in 33 days and change. So
Yep. I might even put mine back together at some point. I just finally tore it down.
I have no doubt you'll show up and be fast. I just have no doubt on that.
I'm hoping to, I mean, the motor itself is going to be with even just what I have now. If I don't get to do anything else to it, it's going to be pretty quick. But the gearing and all that is the bigger deal for me because I still don't have a clutch yet. Like I said, stock tires maybe, we'll see. But the motor it's going to spin.
If you had a wish list for this class, I know it's too early to ask that, and I am going to ask all of you this after the event because when we're looking at 2025. But right now, if you had a wish list, if there was one thing that you could wish for, that the rules don't allow, what would it be?
Different clutch.
Well, I have something, but I want to save that for after None.
That's fine, but you can take the field.
I mean, the clutch would be nice, Kim, but there's tons of centrifugal regular clutches with it. It would be neat to see more belt driven and that kind of stuff, but that does add a little bit more. I think it limits you, really, honestly. There's more bikes available with that already built in. I just don't know, honestly. I mean, I'd love to see an unlimited engine class. I mean, but that's not realistic.
I mean, if you could do a belt drive system, I mean, it would be fun. And we used to build just death machine contraptions when we were younger. But you could literally take a snowmobile engine.
Yeah.
And, and just have that belt drive. And I'm telling you, that would be instantaneous. You'd be off like a rocket. That system would work great.
A good Professor P question from the chat here. Joe says, and this is one of these things, these age-old things, helium or nitrogen in the tires. Professor P, our resident professor, what would that do?
Nothing.
It just cost you money.
Make money flow away.
Yeah, right. There's your credit card flies away.
Helium in the frame.
But I told you it was Mopar Joe in the corner right
Oh,
there.
there's Mopar Joe. Yeah, you're right.
It would give you a different expansion rate after your burnout with the nitrogen. Your temperature, your pressure and change would be slightly different.
Yeah, it doesn't expand as much, but at that point, you're not really gaining much, and you're not. And the whole reason why I did what I did is there's not much for slicks for these things. I kind of heard. I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but 113 cycles. I did a bunch of looking, and there's really nothing available. That's why I didn't put a tire size in there or a tire limit because there's nothing available.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it too.
So who's going to make their first recap tire like the first slicks that were made anyway?
Not for a monkey bike.
Just make a recap.
Tire just for monkey bike, then we did something special, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Dizzy brings up a good one here. He says, overinflate tires reduce friction. Okay, true. You run more tire pressure. You're going to have less surface area contact with the track. You're going to have less rolling resistance. But in a 330-foot race, what balance do you want to strike on that rear tire especially? What do you guys think about that?
You'd have to find the right spot. Too much, you could spin off the line with the amount of power we have, and if you got just right or too little, you're just losing top end, which I understand. Just right to get off the line and keep that acceleration going. You got to find it.
Realistically, though, how many people here on a sticky track think they're going to spin off the line?
No.
Ooh, Ryan's going to.
I'm hoping to. If I get the gearing I want, then yeah, it should. It should pull the front wheel right off the there.
Nice.
Find the glue on the track. So Old McDonald has a find the glue on the track. So if they run after 28 by 10 pipe and all that, well, I'm going to pick the lane that I saw Shane in and go in one of his tracks. Because there's sticky right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. Old McDonald's right. Find the glue on the track. Don't sit in the center.
I might not know how he vetted it. I just know I want to do what he did. My odds are better.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch my videos, if anybody watched them, I always on my DRZ, which is not the monkey bike, but it's pretty much the only motorcycle there. I always line up in the groove of one of those tires and never go down the middle because that's where you got more rubber. It's where you got more traction on it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And as far as the tires go, I think it really depends on how much power you have. I mean, if you don't have enough to spin up the tire, go high pressure on it because you're going to have less resistance trying to get up to speed with it. If you have more power where you might spin the tire, then you got to lower your tire pressure to get the traction and figure all that out with it. It really depends on what your setup is with it. I mean, if I get out there and it doesn't want to pull the front end off the ground, I can run whatever pressure I want, really, at that point.
Yeah.
And we have testing, so I can try it both ways. So.
Yep. Test and tune. As soon as we have our group photo on Friday morning, we're going to get the track clear and we're going to go hop for test and tune.
Cool. I'm going to be there Thursday for tech so that I can be ready to go Friday morning.
That's right.
Yeah.
And tech will be open Thursday morning. So we're going to have all day to get tech done. Imagine this. We all have our tech done and pass tech and have that monkey off our back to go to Lambert's for the car show and dinner. Isn't that great?
That was great. Yeah, last year was great.
But we have more time to get that in order this year.
Will the monkey bikes be teched on Thursday too?
That monkey bike can be.
Yep.
You can tech any time, but you do have to tech before you get on the track because we will have people who won't get there till Friday, and so they can tech Friday. But if you're going to be there on Thursday, yeah, for sure, get the tech.
I just don't need kind of set everything up and. So everybody came in at the same time and teched at the same time.
I'm going to reach out to people. I'm going to reach out to people closer to the event so we make sure we know who all's registered. And I'm probably trying to schedule monkey bike tech in a block if I can, because it will probably be easier on Deke.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they did it a couple years ago. And I'm not going to get there early Thursday morning to try and get through tech if they're going to change it to Friday midday or something.
Well, no. But the point is no, anybody can tech on Thursday. But the point is with tech being open early on Thursday, the people who are coming from an hour away, like it's practically their home track, get there and get tech. So that the people who are driving all day on Thursday, we're trying to alleviate the lines.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Hi, Dane.
Hey, we're going to log out and watch the rest. Relax.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. We look forward to seeing more of you.
Yeah,
we appreciate you being here. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Kim.
See you next month.
Bye, guys.
See you guys next month.
It's coming up
Heck
quick.
yeah.
Hey, before Jeff gets here, I have a present for him. So this is a 2-speed dragster shifter.
Ooh.
So you guys see that? Yeah. So I'm going to ask him if he's got a glide. I found this in my bag of tricks. So it's basically 1, 2 neutral. It's a clean neutral, but it's really thin for dragsters, and it's got a reverse button lockout here. So
wow.
Yeah, you guys get to see it before I give it to him. So
Nice.
as soon as
Cool.
he comes back.
Feels special.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
So while we're doing, you guys are basically on my my next project. This is the high compression slant 6. Right back there, it's going in Plan Z. So I got them all laid out right here, crank, and there's a block right over here. So yeah, that's the next one.
Do you want these in your?
Oh, wow.
All right, he's back. Everybody hide.
Hey Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you have a 2-speed transmission in that dragster?
Yeah, it's a Dead and Bear Reed Power Glide.
What kind of shifter you got?
It's got a Hirsch shifter, It's run off a solenoid, but the solenoid isn't working exactly the way it should be right now. It's got a trans brake and a 5,000 stall. Ooh.
I'm going to give you something a little cooler. So this is
I
a
like
thin dragster style shifter. It's an old school. I mean, this is really old. So there's
Oh,
one,
yeah.
two, and then it's a pull pin so you can get over there and do a
I
clean
like that
tool.
style.
Yeah. So it's yours, man.
Thank you very much.
That's
Thank
freaking
you.
cool.
Yeah, and it's a super thin, and I have no use for it, so I'll give it to a person who's got dragster. So
Well, I
there you go.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Awesome.
problem.
I wish I had a mini
Almost.
Jeff, I've driven that style on a dragster with a power glide, and they're great. They're perfect.
Good.
You reach over with your other hand to have that lockout pin. It's just right.
Yeah, exactly. It fits. It works just perfect, and you can drill a hole and put a solenoid right in the back there. That's what they're for. So
Nice.
Awesome.
I appreciate it, Shane.
Oh, anytime, dude.
Very cool. Very cool. Anybody got any paint schemes in mind for their monkey bike? Because originally we wondered if people will get crazy with that, like Evil Knievel or different colors or anything like that.
Or a theme. A theme. What theme? That was
Hang on.
Because Roland was all about. He had that
He
fighter
killed it.
plane theme.
Yeah, the pea shooter.
Yeah, that pea shooter. That's right.
Maybe an award for something.
Damien likes the stock
That would be cool.
appearing.
Yep. It's a beater. I want mine to look like a beater, you know? That thing ain't got none. Look at that. That's just nothing right there. I work on that all day. What? Will you work on what?
I put some tassels on the handlebars.
No, you ain't putting no tassels on the handlebars.
No
You know
pink
what?
tails.
You know what? I think that'd be a good idea.
What?
tassels and a basket in the front. you
Pink
know?
tassels in a basket. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's gonna have a lot of glitter in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a brick in my basket though. Don't
I've
fit
got
the
a
brick
luggage
up.
rack on my back, on the back.
Yeah, I kind of like that motorcycle that's in the background
So
of 130.
I need to move my seat back about 3 inches. My legs are so long. When I go to turn, the handlebar hits my knees.
Oh yeah.
Just make
Mohawk,
sure
you need to get an old Schwinn sissy bar seat.
Right
back.
here.
Yeah.
Old banana seat.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Cash.
I need some cash. Give me some money.
Right there.
I'm going to bring it over.
Wait till he's bringing the bike over. There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Like that.
Yeah.
The other one.
That's an original Schwinn.
I like the ape hangers.
Yeah. That's a.
This one a Typhoon, is it?
What's that?
Is it a Typhoon?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my
It's a big
gosh.
set.
That was my very first bike. Oh wow.
Yeah. Check it out. It's all original. So yeah. It's
It's copper color. Oh my god, that's exactly what I had when I was 5 years old.
Yeah. This is a.
Who made the
26
monkey?
Nice.
Who made the muscle bike back in the '60s that had the steering wheel?
Schwinn.
Was it Schwinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Schwinn. They have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Then was it Murray or Murphy that had the shifter in the middle and the Springer front end?
Yeah, that was the crate. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one of them that had actually a built-in wheelie bar too. That was cool.
That was
Yeah.
also a Schwinn too.
Yeah.
Hey, Professor Pete, just before Joe asked you, is that your No Name Nationals negotiating bike that you ride around on?
This is the other one is the black one. This one is this is all original. I'm going to bring this one this year because this one's the real deal. This is the other one's kind of a fake. This is the real one, but this one's
So you gonna ride around with the big
that's
straw
nice.
hat on, trying to get some match race money going?
Yep.
100% correct. I'm going to be going around. I'm going to be getting money because that makes the fun. You know, after the 2010 50, let's have some races. You know, let's put up some money. Let's see some things go on.
Shoot, yeah.
Let's see some good match races out there.
Oh yeah, I've got a few things in the works. So yeah, you guys know about one, and he's on here, Mr. Mopar Joe. We're talking. He's got his setup. I'm getting my setup, and I got something else I'm working on too. So to make it fun, interesting.
I have a
Yeah.
frame
Yeah,
question.
Matt.
What's considered the frame? Just the main frame of the motorcycle?
What's considered the frame? I like that.
Just asking,
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
like let's just say, for instance, the I don't know, you probably can't see them, but the fender mounts. Do those have to be there? Is that considered part of the frame? Just asking.
It says right here.
It says frame, right?
It says any two-wheel mini bike frame. It says frame structure must maintain stock length and width, but then it says excluding brackets, tabs, etc.
Etc.
I know. I'm asking about something specific while asking about this, but I'm not asking.
So we are telling you as specifically as you need to know.
Yep, that's all I need to know. That's it.
It's here and not here at the exact same time.
Yep.
You know what, Professor P and I, we talked about this at length early in the year.
I need more tabs.
And we said that there are people who are going to want to ask you for interpretations on all this stuff. And no.
That's the answer I want. That's it. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear.
That's for you guys to figure out. And that was the whole point, to see the creativity come
I don't want to do something that I can't fix while I'm at the track and then show up and not be allowed to race because I changed something and I'm not looking at anything major or anything. But that's why
if it's not here, it's fine.
Yep.
Paragraph 3 is the 113 cycles rule, and it says any two-wheel mini bike frame may be used. Frame structure must maintain stock length and width, excluding brackets, tabs, etc. No excessive lightening is allowed, and Events Tech Inspection will have final discretion as to structural stability. Because we can't have somebody running something that's going to break at 45 miles an hour and kill someone. So therefore, he gets a final veto of something that's extremely sketchy.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm going to be coming around doing is just kind of looking at these things because I know what I'm looking for too.
Yeah. I have a couple questions I will ask you specifically when we're at the track after we're already there for next year's stuff. But
yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get through this year and see what people bring and see how it works.
Exactly.
We wanted to bring as many people into this as possible because this is a really creative, fun. I want to use a blooming class, so we want to bring as many people to it and see what we get. This is kind of like, hey, let's put some rules out there and see how many people do fun things, and then we're going to move from there.
Hey, Mater. So Mater says he's keeping an eye on a Coleman mini bike that Tractor Supply sells on an auction site. I will tell you, Mater, this class started for the first 2 years as a spec class for the 97cc Coleman CT100U. In the third year, we've greatly liberalized the rules, and you can go to nonamenationals.com and you can download this PDF. One page. Professor P and I said before we ever started, it's going to fit on one page. It doesn't go on here, right? If it takes more than one page, you have too many rules.
Exactly.
Really, I'm not even kidding. We both agreed completely. If it doesn't fit on one page, you got too many. So I really think you'll like these, and you might be able to do something pretty cool, Mater. You could probably field a good entry with that because I know that small engine stuff is in your wheelhouse.
Oh yeah.
And I would suggest hitting up Facebook Marketplace. They're on there all the time. And yeah, some of them are outrageous. Some people are asking $1,000 for them, but you can still find them for $300, $200. Frame for $100 and go get an engine, put it together, that kind of thing. There's still some out there where you can do it in a budget.
Yeah,
and have fun with it.
I won't reveal everything yet, but this one and another one were bought, I think, for $100 because the lady's boyfriend had left and just left them and they didn't work. Turns out the brakes, you have to adjust all the time on these. I didn't know that. They never adjusted them and the brakes were just closed. So all you had to do was just release the brakes and they were perfectly fine.
That's what I'm having trouble with now with mine. Every time I go out for a ride, by the time I'm done, it's already done. It's like, what's going on? God.
One thing I'll throw out there while we're deep into this live, just real quick for everybody here. Tonight, of course, we have our monkey bikers on the panel. Next Friday, we're going to have our burnout competition panel. And then we're going to have our 2810-5 panel and then our bracket panel. And then the next Friday will be the last Friday before No Name Nationals. We're going to discuss itinerary, what the schedule's like, specific hours, things open like tech, concession stands, camping, all that kind of stuff. And then the Friday after that, people are going to be streaming from the Burnout Pit. So just keep that in mind. So especially people that got questions now about stuff for 28-10-5 bracket burnout and all that.
Yeah.
Those live streams are coming in consecutive weeks from now.
Hey guys, Cash had a question. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm just wondering what age can monkey bikes be like to drag race a monkey bike? I'm just
Well,
wondering.
this year you must have a driver's license, a state issued driver's license. And if you can talk Tennessee into issuing you a driver's license, you're good to go. If you can't, it's going to be probably 16 years old. That said, we're going to look at the age on monkey bikes for 2025.
Yes.
Okay.
What about a
We're
learner's
gonna look at
permit,
that.
John?
And we kind of need to see where people land with their speeds, how people are controlling their safety and that kind of thing. And if the course is on the right schedule that way, we're probably going to be looking at things like 13 to 17, 12, 13 to 17, right in that range right there for next year. But we need to see what happens this year to know where to go with it for next year. You're close.
Cool. You got it. Say thank you.
Thank you.
You're close.
He wants to race so badly, and I told him, like, just give us some time, you know?
There
are some young kids out there walking around with a wheelbarrow, if y'all know what I mean.
Mater has a Predator 224. The rules allow up to a 236 cc. That's done specifically to allow different modifications on a 212, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or one of the motors that are made exactly to a 236.
That could be too.
I don't know where Mater is, but I have a Facebook marketplace around me. You can get a monkey bike frame. It might be in a few pieces complete, but $60, you know, guys selling it for $60 a monkey bike frame, CT100U, you know.
Yeah, around here they're $60 and $50 just for the frame, kind of like what's in the background on the lift right there.
Yeah.
You're $60 because you're going to put a new engine in anyway, so then modify. So the whole idea was to keep this under $300 or $400 is what I was trying to think of, and be competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. You buy a cheap frame like that, one that's a roller. Said doesn't have to be that. Grab a 212 or one of the other Harbor Freight engines. They're good, decent engines. Throw it on there, and you're already going to be quick. So,
any horizontal shaft engine should work.
Levi's got a good suggestion. Can we have bicycle races for the younger kids?
A bicycle race down the track.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, obviously, bicycles and cars can't line up and
Bring
stuff.
my mongoose bike.
He's in.
There we go. We got it.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Cool. Here's the first one. He's number one right there. Right.
Go.
Only a
He needs his 500 subs first. He needs 500 subs first.
For a kid's bike race?
Wait. It's not a power.
Okay, 100 subs for kids bike.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me on, John. I got to roll. It decided to massively storm outside. That's why I ran off over there. And
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, so I got to take care of some stuff. AK my dragster sitting out in the driveway getting rained.
Oh, so, get it taken care of, man.
I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit.
See you later, Jeff.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Have a good one. Oh, I said that a little late, but
I'm sure you heard it.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking dragster Jeff has. He's worked really hard on it.
Yeah.
That thing is awesome.
Yeah. Great series he's done on it, too. So.
That guy has gotten that dragster done. If you think about building a dragster, you would not think that you would come down and get the dragster done, and the thing that would hold you up would be a fire suit, right? And the fire suit has been holding him up because it takes us like a 3-layer suit. And so I told him, I said, we think we got something worked out for you as a loaner if you need it, but he thinks he may have his fire suit on the way, so we'll work it out. But bottom line is the guy's worked way too hard. We want to make sure he gets to make passes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had the quarter of the energy that man has.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. He didn't sleep either. Jeff, he doesn't sleep 2-3 hours a day. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
I wish I could do that.
I mean, like he sleeps from about 2 to 5 every day.
Yeah.
I sleep probably about 4 or 5 hours a night. That's it, if that.
Straight into REM sleep.
I wish I could.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all I do.
I
That's
sleep
why I
about
have
4 or 5 hours a night at No Name Nationals, but other than that,
I had a lawyer one time didn't sleep 2 hours a day. I said, "How do you not just die from that?" But he just never did. He never did. And I you could get away with like 6 hours, but after a week of 6 hours every day, I crash out
Exhausted.
for one. Have to catch up. I got to pay that deficit back somewhere.
that's me as well. Yep.
Didn't they say it was either Ben Franklin or Einstein?
Albert
used to take
Einstein.
15-minute cat naps.
Yeah.
And never actually slept.
Yep. Albert Einstein was weird. He could fall straight into REM sleep for like 15, 30 minutes, be up and ready to rock and roll. It's crazy.
The older I get, the more I need some legitimate sleep.
Now I've got mine printed off.
There you
I have
go.
mine saved on my desktop, so I've looked at it a few times.
Now, old McDonald says I slept 2 to 4 hours a night for 37 years. Thank being on call for that. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you guys? All of you have other projects for No Name Nationals besides Monkey Bike. How are all those things coming?
The scamp's ready.
It better be.
No, I do have to put a
Mine's
ballast
good.
resistor in it. Heck yeah.
Depends on what.
Mine's right here, and it's. I just did a no prep race, and I got a.
You're
I
the
might
one
have
that got
another
ran
no
with it
prep
all.
tomorrow. I'm not sure. So. We're finishing up the tune-ups.
Now you got that one down in the 5s, right?
So,
Oh yes,
Okay.
There you go.
Then I'm not going to call you out.
yeah.
Is that 5 seconds and 330 feet?
Yeah.
That's
That
funny.
would be crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mater
The only
is the
thing
high. Go ahead, P.
Oh, I was going to say the only thing I was going to admit to is that was the slip I showed was 581 at 120 miles an hour, and that's the only thing I'm going to admit to. And that was 100 shot of nitrous.
Nice. Wow.
That car's boogieing.
Yeah.
I bet that is a fun ride.
Mater is the high bidder
Pretty-
so far, $35 on a mini bike. So cool, man. Make it happen,
Go.
Cam.
Heck
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
come on. Yep. I know of at least one more that's going to be there too. But I don't know if John even knows that he's going to be there yet. But
Is it
there's
a
one more.
is it a registered channel or no?
It
Thanks,
should
Dean.
be. They were there last year. It's not a
Okay.
new. It's not a new person, but
Okay.
they haven't had time to work on theirs yet. I'm going to do a lot of the work on it for them, but they're going to do it.
I got to guess then. I got to guess. I could be wrong. But that's all right. We'll see what happens.
I don't know, Dean.
No, everybody I knew was bringing Monkey Bike this year. I sent a link to. So, no, it's somebody who's off my radar, but that's okay. That's
very
great.
Possibly, yeah. But they've been there, so it's not a new person. So
D, how was your whole travel plans looking like? You got a long way to haul in for this, more than anybody else.
I do. I do. Yeah.
What's your plan looking like for the road trip?
Well, I'm going to be pulling the truck this year, not the RV, so that's going to be a lot better on the pocketbook.
Yeah.
I picked up a topper here on my way down to Racers here last weekend, so I got the topper shell on the back of the truck, and that's going to be my bedroom for the weekend. So
Cool.
Yeah. So Jack will go in the back, car will be on the trailer, and start cruising down. So that's the plan.
Love it.
Hey, Andy.
Where's
The bad part about that plan is I got a real soft second gear in my truck, so I may have to do some thrashing on that and get that fixed because
Yeah.
it's not good pulling a trailer.
What transmission's in the truck?
46 RE.
46 RE. You adjusted your band at all?
No, but it was serviced recently, and you know what that means. So by the previous owner, so I just bought it. So
Mater, if yeah, shoot me an email about that, because I'm pretty sure that everything that was supposed to go out went out. And if you didn't get something, I'll check pirate ship. Just shoot me an email about that. I'll check it out. I want to make sure everybody's got everything they're supposed to have. Yeah, we do all fulfillment from right here. Andy Wood is in Macon, Georgia, on the way back.
Yeah. Cool.
Any of you guys have any last thoughts on Monkey Bike? Anything you want to say before we head into the event? Because this is the live for the Monkey Bikers. Then we're going to have Burnout 28, 10, 5, and Bracket. But this is your time. If you want to call any shots, make any call outs, give anybody some bad advice, lead them astray, whatever you want to do. Now's the time.
Ever do something like that? Y'all bring your best. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah. I just want everybody to have fun, stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody get there safe.
I think if there's anybody teetering on the thought of getting one, just go do it, man. It's fun. It's just, there's not a lot of investment going on it. Just go for it. Have some fun with it.
You could probably find one on Facebook Marketplace pretty easily that already meets the rules, and you don't even have to do anything, Tim.
Even if all it does is 25 mile an hour, they're still fun.
And there's still a slow race too, so
that's true. Yeah,
a whole lot of fun. In the
Just
snow.
remember, a bone stock monkey bike is faster than any runner in any class of the Olympics. So people are watching those foot races like they're flying, and remember, a bone stock monkey bike is still faster.
Very good point.
A bone stock Coleman CT 100U is faster than Usain Bolt.
Is Blake still in here? Because I see the video coming out tomorrow.
I'm faster than a monkey bike. Yeah.
Oh, good heavens.
Yeah, I'm just excited for it. I think it's going to be a blast.
Ready.
It's everybody in the monkey class has been so much fun the whole time for every year of the event. And I know it's just going to be even better this year. So definitely excited and looking forward to actually competing with it this year.
Mater, I'll check into that as soon as I get off here. I'll make sure. I have sometimes stuff falls in the black hole, but I will say I'll check into that. We'll make sure we're squared away. No worries at all.
How many people get in the chat there, John?
We still got 36 in here.
36.
Still got 36 in here.
I got an idea. Do we have time for a giveaway?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Everybody in the chat. Guess what Jack weighs? How about that? Closest person gets either a banner or a T-shirt from John on me. How about
that? I'll tell you what. We'll cover their choice of T-shirt or banner. We got that. And let's see. I don't know if we have a secretary. Colleen is usually the secretary. Can you run that for us tonight, Colleen?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right. Put your guesses in the chat. When we end the live, we're gonna total them up. We'll have a winner, and the winner will get their choice of a banner or shirt.
I got a commercial.
The question is, how much does Jack weigh?
Yeah.
No rider.
That's what I was going to ask.
I got the scale right there, so we can.
I'm not in the chat, darn it, but okay.
You can do a shout out.
Okay, I got an idea.
What's your guess, Mohawk?
Ooh, I was gonna say 85 pounds.
He said in the chat.
That's okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, Damien. What's your guess?
85?
Yeah, I say 85. Andy got mine. I was gonna say 90, but 85.
I want to check.
Now, bear in mind, this is bike only.
Right.
Bike only.
Correct. Yeah, not me.
He just picked it up and carried it, so yeah.
I'm pretty tough though, so
Yeah, right.
All right, just for
are these prices right rules or is this like?
So we have how many so far?
Cash say.
Hang on.
75.
There we go.
Cash says
Appreciate
75.
There's about a half a gallon of gas in there if it makes a difference.
I see about 20
Ready?
guesses right now.
Pretty simple.
Are we ready?
There.
Yeah.
Sure.
There.
All
Mine's
right,
in
are
the chat
everybody,
now.
are everybody's guesses in?
Yeah, mine's in the chat.
Cash says
All right.
75.
All
75.
right,
75.
all right.
Cash
Then we're
says
gonna
75.
I got
then
you,
we're
Cat.
gonna close it down right now. So any more guesses now don't count. Colleen, with what you got right there on your sheet, you got everybody?
I got it. Hang on. I stopped at Dust Devil.
I got it right
Okay.
here, dude. As soon
That's
as I
right.
see the number, I'll scroll through and find it.
That's it. All right.
Now they can't go over; they have to be under, right?
Yes.
Jack is
Price
the
is right rules.
Price is right. Okay.
Can't go over? No going over?
Closest
All right,
one.
we ready? You ready? Here it is. Oh, let me see it.
Oh, yep. Not me.
89.15.
89.15.
Is that
Wow.
89 pounds, 15 ounces?
1.5 ounce.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one-eyed cat at 89. One-eyed cat said
Wow.
89
On
pounds.
the
There
There you
nose,
go.
Wow.
dude.
Nice.
When I
job.
get-
Congratulations, Don.
That's a good job.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats, Don.
You got it.
One-eyed cat got it. Pounds or kilograms.
We're in America, old McDonald.
One-eyed cat got it on the head.
The only thing we
89.
do in kilos here is drug busts, man.
89
Oh,
bald
yeah.
eagle.
Make sure my camera's not pointing that way. Perfect.
And thank you, Unity Motorsports Garage. You practically sponsored the giveaway with your super.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Great job.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, Andy. Wow.
Well, do you guys have any
Someone needs
closing
me,
thoughts? I'll get with Don on his winnings. Do any of you guys have any closing thoughts?
I haven't decided.
I'll just say real quick that the whole idea of
Go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead, Professor P.
I was saying the whole idea of the rules is to open it up. So I hope everyone has fun with it. Read between the lines, and what it doesn't say is what you should do. There you go.
100%. I'm with it. I understand.
I'm still making the decision whether or not I'm going to start releasing my videos of the build beforehand or not. That's where I think it could be more fun. Okay. All right.
I'm not putting anything out on the monkey bike until No Name.
Okay. That's
That's
what I'll
my-
do.
Exactly.
Bubble maker
Yes.
out at least.
There's
No,
there's
no
a couple
bubble
of
maker.
schools of thought here. You can either put your stuff out after, or if you put your stuff out, say on Thursday morning, they can see it before, but there's nothing they can do about it.
That's
They're
true,
loaded
yeah.
in.
Right.
There's nothing
Great
they can do.
idea,
Then they get
Don.
to, then they
That's
get
not
to
a bad
dread it
idea.
all the way
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Just
You'll
flood
get-
the
you'll
whole
get
thing with
more
monkey
people.
bike on Thursday. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll get more people tuning in to watch you race because they know what you're going to do, but your
That's right.
competitors don't have any time to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. Yeah.
Release it on Wednesday, and you'll see a whole bunch of monkey bikes on the sides of the interstate because they chucked them out and went, "Oh well, there's no way we're going to win."
Even if you can run 25 miles an hour, man, it's just
Hey,
fun.
if you do it, just get it on camera. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
I got everything on
Oh
camera.
man. It's
Well,
gonna
with
be
that,
fun.
guys, we'll shut down for the evening. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. This has just been a barrel of fun. This live's been a lot
Yes.
of
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to the class, and it's going to be a hoot. Quick reminder about next Friday, 1 week from tonight. And 1 week from tonight, we're going to be in the 20s, by the way. We're going to have the burnout competition folks on. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to have the 28-10-5 guys on, and there will be 20 days to go. And then we're going to have the bracket competition guys on, and there will be 13 days to go.
Wow.
So yeah, the time is ticking away quick, but that's what we've got coming up in the hopper, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys there. Y'all take care.
Same here.
We're out.
See you guys
Bye.
later.
See you all
Have a
soon.
good night.
Hey, everybody.
Ah, froze up again.
Bye.
Good night, guys.